So sorry for a bit of delay. We had a little bit of issues getting the presentation to the top. It's an absolute pleasure for me to be here this morning. My name is Jad. I'm from Microsoft. I'm a digital strategist working with government and public sector entities. Today I wanted to talk to you about the topic of digital transformation. I believe that it's an amazing time to be living in the world that we're living in, as our lives are changed by technology, affecting the way we work, the way we have fun together, the way we communicate to people. It's affecting every industry across the board, and those changes that are happening are not just specific to businesses and people, but also to government and public sector institutions which you represent. So it's an absolute pleasure for me to be here. Thank you for taking the time to be here with me, and I hope this session will be useful for all of you. I wanted to start first of all with our mission as Microsoft, which is to empower every organization, every person, every organization on the planet to achieve more. And when I say these words, it's not just a tagline that I'm just stating. It's really something that's rooted in our mission as Microsoft. We believe that our success is not going to be about creating technology just in the sense of technology, but it's going to be more, our success is going to be more based on your success in using that technology and enabling digital transformation within your organization. And the term digital transformation has been used a lot, and we hear about it a lot, but I think it's been used a bit loosely, and I'm going to try to define it more specifically as we move along the presentation. So first of all, I just wanted to start with a couple of statistics and just give you some numbers on how the landscape of the world is changing today. So research is showing that 75% of the workforce in 2025 is going to be composed of millennials. Millennials born in the late 80s, 90s, and moving forward. These millennials are people that are used to using technology in their daily lives, whether it's using mobile phones, buying things online. The expectations that they have of how they're living every day is going to be an expectation that they will have when they come into the workplace. So this idea of digital transformation, of empowering them to being able to work the way they live their lives and using the tools that they're used to be using. At the same time, 40% of government employees in 2020 are going to be using more than one form factor to do the work that they do. This idea that you come into work every day at 9 and you leave at 5 and you sit on a desk and you work just from one single machine is rapidly transforming, and we believe that 40% of government employees are not going to be working in that sense. A last statistic that's really interesting is video conferencing. We believe that there's $8 billion in savings that is going to be done just by using video conferencing, and this is savings that are going to come from the time that you spend getting to where you want to get to meet someone, or traveling and so forth. So these are a lot of savings that can happen. Before moving into the concept of digital transformation, I just wanted to share some of the challenges that are emerging because of technology being at every point of our lives. Citizens today are expecting more from their governments. They're expecting services that are at the same level, or at least following up at the same level as the big corporations that we have. Today, any corporation in the world has presence online. When you want to reach out to that corporation, either asking questions and so forth, there's a very fast response time. So the delivery of service that is expected out of citizens is rapidly expanding. Even though resources are being cut down, the expectations are going up. Security, privacy of individuals is a very, very hot topic today. That when you open the newspaper and you hear about it, it's everywhere we look. Because of the era that we've lived in, when technology really started coming in, data volumes have expanded. So today, because we're using a lot of mobile devices, we have a lot of systems in our organizations, this is generating a lot of data, and the idea of data is going to be something that I'm going to come back to in this presentation. The demand for omni-channel citizen engagement is something that we hear about a lot. Citizens are asking for one place where they can interact with their government entities from one application and being able to request services that might be delivered by different government entities. So this is a very hot topic that is coming along. I wanted to pause on this slide, which is what we believe are the 4 outcomes of digital transformation. I'm going to go through them very briefly. It's engaging your citizens, transforming the services that you offer, optimizing your operations, and empowering the employees in each organization. So those are broadly the 4 outcomes of digital transformation. Those are the 4 results, if I would say, of digital governments, digital entities. This is what they're trying to achieve when they're seeking digital transformation. And when I put these slides, people might ask me, this is not something that's new. I mean, we've always wanted to better engage our citizens. We've always wanted to come up with services that are going to empower our citizens, empower our employees. We've always wanted to have better e-services. It's not something new. What are you talking about here? And every time we've tried to achieve these 4 outcomes as organizations, it's been, building applications with a specific set of logic that will be able to make an operation more efficient by digitizing it. We were in the digitizing era. Think about having paperless environments, having correspondence management systems, so things are not paper-based. So those are things that we've always tried to do. I believe that the efforts that we've done have fallen a bit short of really capturing the essence of digital transformation. In the world that we're in today, things have changed. And I believe the way we're going to get to these 4 outputs of digital transformation are going to be a little bit different. And let me explain how. So what's changed in the past few years? Well, first of all, because of the digitizing era, when organizations have tried to digitize their processes in their organizations, they've actually gathered a lot of data in their systems. So today, in every ministry, in every organization, there are a lot of systems that are generating a lot of data, and that data might not have been used in a way that is as efficient as possible. They're data that are contained in silos that are not necessarily being used as a holistic view to being able to generate that output. The second big thing is the advances in analytics. Analytics has advanced so much today that what organizations are capable of doing with the technology is far greater. The insight that you can get from data is a lot stronger than what you could have done before. The last point is cloud. I know you guys have heard a lot about this. Being able to tap to unlimited cloud compute power from virtually anywhere is something that has really changed how organizations view their transformation, and is really going to change how we're going to go about moving towards digital transformation. So in every system, in every organization, I would ask you to challenge yourselves. Do you have systems of intelligence that are able to achieve 3 things? 1, capture data when an event happens or when something happens, being able to analyze that data to get insight out of that data, and third of all, take action to change the outcomes that you got from the data. That's the whole concept of digital transformation. Data itself is not valuable without insight, and insight is not valuable without action of being able to change the outcome to go to these 4 outputs of digital transformation. And I'm going to go more into details on these 4 outputs. But this is what was missing, and it's extremely hard to do because you build a lot of systems, You generate a lot of data, but they're in silos, and then it's not used in a framework that you're able to, generate the output that you want. So we believe that we're in a data-driven revolution. Data is at the center of digital transformation. Organizations are going to want to increase data-driven insights. That's going to help them improve and innovate their services, and they're going to want to increase transparency with citizens on the outcomes that are happening. I talked about the 4 outcomes of digital transformation, and I'm going to go more into detail now just to build on what we've discussed. So first of all, it's engage your citizens, and we put engage your citizens / patients because in the healthcare system, the customers or the citizens are also patients. This being one of the first outcomes of digital transformation, it's extremely important to harness the complete set of data that you have from that citizen to better engage him in the society. So let me give you an example. Every organization today might have been thinking of building a call center to better engage the citizens, or a mobile application. A citizen will call to either ask a question or to file a complaint. The trick here is to be able to record that data coming from either the call center or the mobile application or any level of medium that you're using to engage the citizen, and then being able to use that data and have an automated way and a backend system to take action on the complaint or on the query or on the question that's been taken. And then have an intelligent system to be able to say, okay, a lot of citizens are asking us about this question, or they're not able to, for example, get their birth certificate, or they're having challenges doing that. That is something that needs to be changed. We will put the right systems in place to make it easier for them to make that request. Improving citizen engagement is delivering a quality of service to them that is more personalized. So the more you're able to gather data from the citizen, the more you're able to improve the level of service that you're giving him, and you're able to enhance the ability for him to engage more and to be more involved in what's happening. And data is at the center of all of this, because you are doing this today, but because it is in silos, you might not be getting the right output of it. Citizens portals have always been there, and the main point here is getting the level of personalization for the citizens. There are challenges impacting citizens and the delivery of the service. As I started my discussion, I said that citizens today are using technology in their daily lives when they're interacting with private organizations and with brands. So the level of expectations that they have has risen, and it's expected from government entities to match it and follow up on the same level that they're providing. It is a clear message that resources are going down and expectations are going up, so using technology and really leveraging the data that you have within organizations is going to be a lot more important. Citizen participation is core to citizen engagement. How are ministries, how are government entities really fostering citizens to participate more in life of the country? A lot of ways that are being done is increasing transparency on what's happening within the country, increasing transparency on increasing transparency for the citizens to be able to feel more engaged and to want to ask more questions and be more involved. Microsoft has a platform called the social listening platforms. As we know today, social media is very important for everyone, not just in their personal life, but the way they work, the way they collaborate. One example of digital transformation is being able to understand what people are saying online. Because as I started my discussion, when citizens want to engage with a ministry, they're not necessarily going to call the call center or going to go to the mobile application. They might send a tweet on Twitter. They might send a Facebook post or put something on Instagram and any social media. So it is very important to have these different channels to being able to gather data on what citizens are feeling and building that holistic view on what is the feel of the country on a specific topic or on another topic. It's not just about having a CRM system or having a platform to gather the data. It's three things. It's being able to capture the data of the event when it happens, being able to have the right capacity to analyze and do the analytics on it, and then taking action on that specific topic or event. So one example that's being done across government entities is this idea of social listening, social monitoring, being able to have a sentiment analysis of how people are feeling about a new policy that came out or about an increase in prices for a certain thing or whatnot. In the Western countries, for example, when there's a tax hike on a certain product or a new policy that comes out, what is being done is it's being monitored, because today the way people live is so different. The first reflex that they have is going towards social media. The second point is about empowering your employees. As I said at the beginning, it's not just about implementing the technology. It's about three things. It's about people, it's about the process, and it's about the technology. In order to really achieve digital transformation and have one of these outputs, it's very important for organizations to empower the employees to be able to collaborate and communicate and work more efficiently across different divisions within an organization. As I said at the beginning, there's multiple systems in each department of an organization. Each systems are being used just by that department. How are you going to be able to foster cross-collaboration to enable a feedback loop between one employee and another for them to be able to innovate more rapidly? So creating a productive workplace is at the heart of digital transformation, and it's something that really relates to that output. As I was saying, the challenge that's impacting government field workers, for example, is that they're working in an isolated sense. The systems are isolated. There are true barriers to collaboration, and that would foster digital transformation. So having that brand new CRM system or having that new document management system or implementing a technology just for the sense of that technology might not recall the outputs that are being taken. I'm going to run through this really quickly. The third point is optimizing your operations. So we know that governments are always trying to be more efficient, and that is at the core as well. One of the points at the core of digital transformation as well that will allow you to improve the level of services that are being given. There is a trend that's going towards lowering the footprint of data centers, trying to do more with less as resources are being reduced, whereas demands are still fairly high. There's a lot of trends that have to do with automation, using machine learning and advanced analytics to be able to optimize the way things are being done. So reducing the cost of maintaining systems is something that is at the heart of digital transformation. One of the things that have changed that I was discussing at the beginning of the presentation was this notion of cloud. Today with the cloud, because you're able to harness almost unlimited amounts of compute power, there might not be a need for building these huge data centers and having to operate them and patching them and handling security and handling the cooling and so forth. if organizations really want to digitally transform, the focus has to be more on the mission of that organization. So for example, a Ministry of Health would be delivering a better level of healthcare. One point that's really important in terms of optimizing operation is this idea of shared services. Because citizens are expecting an omni-channel service where they can interact from a single point and ask for services that might be delivered from different ministries or organizations, this idea of shared service is going to be a lot more important, and it's going to require collaboration between government entities so that you can not have to build the service on your own, and each ministry would have to build the same service on and on again. So this idea of shared services is really, really important. As I was saying, data center consolidation, right at the heart of digital transformation. You want to optimize operations. You want to focus on what is the mission of this ministry or this organization, and that is something that is really helpful. I'm going to skip this just for the interest of time, but the idea was to discuss the data center consolidation and how you can optimize your operations by doing more with less. The main point here is that resources are being decreased and demands are moving ahead, and for governments it's really important to keep at the pace of private sectors to the best of their abilities, because they are moving really quickly, and people that are living every day, they're living in a certain way, and they might expect the same level of responsiveness from government entities as well. So of course, this is a reminder that cloud platform simplifies a lot organizations. It gives them that scale to go to market in a faster way, to innovate, to create more services in a more timely manner, and it makes them a lot more agile. The last one is about transforming your services, combining multiple data sources at the same time to being able to deliver that ultimate service of that will be very either personalized to the citizen, or that will have a lot of quick response time is super crucial. Transforming services, one of the ways that the time that we live in really helps you harness that is data. We have so much data, and that is the single most important factor that can unlock more insights for you to make more decisions that are more data-driven rather than decisions that are ad hoc. And being able to combine all those data sources within one system, recording the event, doing the insights that needs to be done, and taking action is the fundamental point behind digital transformation. Citizen services at scale is very important. Governments are continuing to focus on delivering services that are going to be able to cater to a lot of different people and a very large sum of people. One of the things that I wanted to show you today is the idea of chatbot, which is something that is being done in a lot of organizations, and we're seeing governments today harnessing the power of chatbots, which is eliminating the first level of call centers, for example, and having a machine using artificial intelligence and machine learning in the back end to answer questions related to the ministry. So you would go in, you would open a tab, and you would write questions to a computer, essentially, that would be giving you answers and helping you deliver services all along the way. So you wouldn't need a physical person. You would have what is essentially a computer that's answering a citizen and guiding him on either opening hours or how to do things, or how to navigate a portal, or where to ask for services that are specific to that ministry or to that organization. This is something that is being expected out of citizens, and it's something that you don't need a person to be there all the time, because it's 24/7, it's a computer that's doing it, it's a type of service that's delivered at scale, and it's something that helps engage the customer and optimize the operations at the same time. We know government analytics is still a very hot topic, using data as well to understand where resources are going, where the spend is being done, and how we can do to reduce the expenses is super important. Again, data is going to be the single most important factor that's going to help you unlock those savings and making it more efficient. This is an example of a government dashboard that is giving a 360 view of all the important KPIs of the government or of a specific organization. Being able to have that end-to-end view on what is important for an organization to fulfill the mission that it's actually designed to fulfill is really important, and this would be all coming from different data points that are that you have today in your systems, but it's just not being harnessed in the correct way, or is in silos, so things are being left out. Having this level of vision promotes accountability within government entities to know that things are being done in a transparent manner. It simplifies operations across the board, and you're able to connect different data sources to raise the level of service that you're having. Government transparency, very, very hot topic. Governments are always trying to push themselves into becoming more transparent, and through digital technology, through data, you're able to raise that level of transparency by capturing data on all the actions that are being taken within organizations. Enhancing citizen engagement through digital transformation is really important as well. To enhance their citizen engagement, some government entities are doing, for example, town halls where things are broadcasted live, where people can ask questions through social media. They feel that the government is responding to them, that they have a way of communicating with the government. At the same time, government entities are able to get that level of feedback and that information that is then captured within a specific data set, analyzed, and then actions are taken on it as we move along. So really, these are the three main aspects of it. Are you able to record an event with actual data? Are you able to analyze that data and get the level of insights on it and have the intelligent levels of system to take action? And it can't work unless you have these three at the same time, because if you have the level of insights but you're not taking action, then this whole thing doesn't really work. That's all for the presentation. Thank you so much, and
thank you,
I'll leave it
Mr.
at that.
This was our first presentation. And now we'll move on.